Cool. So we're talking here about Wikidata, which is a little experiment we've done.
Sure.
You guys, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Ken Price, CEO of Avox, and we've been working with you guys all day today to get Wikidata, an open data platform, kicked off.
Great. And Paul from Osmosoft.
Yeah, I'm Paul from Osmosoft. I'm one of many developers. Well, there's been 5 of us, I guess, working on this. And it was quite fun because we don't have any commercial relationship with Avox, but we were interested in their story. They have a very interesting repository of data and we want to demonstrate the value of being open.
Right.
And one of the things we work on as a group is TiddlyWeb, which is a framework for publishing data in a very webby, RESTful way. And so what we did was we looked at their current website, in which they basically collect organisational data, I guess.
Yep.
Say.
Company information.
And you have very good provenance around this company information. That's the value they're adding. But what we really like to do is create a persistent sort of cool URI for each organisation. And you're worldwide, aren't you?
Yeah. And just to add to that, I mean, the key thing that we're really doing is keeping this data up to date, and we do that by soliciting the feedback from our customers who proactively tell us about things. They see change before many other people see it. What we wanted to do with Wikidata is open the whole thing up to the general public so they can more proactively help trigger research.
So from my point of view as a data geek, I really like the idea of having it's something that I think is missing from the world at the moment is a persistent URI for each organisation out there, be it a company or post office or a news agent.
When you open
Jeremy, we're sort of recording this. So to create like a persistent URI that I can link to or bookmark and use to talk about an organisation, be it a news agent or be it a large multinational.
Yep.
And so it's quite cool that we're sort of working on how best to open up that data and still make we don't want you guys to go out of business, but want you to sort of become.
It's a balance, right? So what we're trying to do is make the core information you need to identify a company publicly available in a consolidated manner, but also make it easy to link to lots of other data offerings.
So perhaps we should just quickly talk through what we did. So you've got a website at the moment, and on here, there is a link to Wikidata, and I can search for things. I can search for like a company, and I get like a kind of hint of what's available. But I think at this point, if I actually go and request for more data, there's not much I can do with it. And this is what we're trying to do, is just tease apart what should this website ideally look like. So what we did was we took TiddlyWeb, which is one of the TiddlyWiki sort of kind of portfolio of products, and we built like a list of search results, which are very similar to what's on the current site.
So we're looking here at what we've built today.
Yeah, absolutely. This was built from scratch today, and although using TiddlyWeb, which is Chris Dent's baby, and the outcome is that you can sort of this is the edit page, so we can actually update.
And also the other thing that we should say is we're not using TiddlyWiki here, so really we're just using TiddlyWeb just as a purely RESTful data service, and we've built the pages effectively from scratch.
So the basis of it is a sort of very sort of flexible wiki-based sort of way of storing data information, but we've got like name-value pairs, for most of the key fields, which we're exploring, like how to plug those into standard sort of ways of describing names. For example, if it's an address, we can use a vCard, and so. And if it's something more complicated, maybe we can plug into one of the linked data sort of standards, like I think there are a couple. I forget the names now, but there are a couple of existing sort of ontologies out there, and so this is like, it's very crude, but it's our canonical page for a company. We have like things like an ID, which is part of the URI, which is one of the things that Avox are providing for us, an AVID, an AVID, which you could think of like an ISBN.
So that's why it's reflected in the URI.
Which is actually one of the key value-added components of today, I would say,
Sure, I
because
think
now that can become an integral part of the way people talk about a company, and it's a publicly available
absolutely, and
pointer, really.
you can bookmark the URI, which obviously is not is a bit messy at the minute, but we'll find a better URI.
Yeah, that's quite
more
straightforward.
succinct.
That's another thing with Tiddlyweb. You can easily map the URIs similar to Rails routes.
I should have demonstrated this in Firefox because I don't have the plugin in Safari, but these are V cards, using micro formats.
Yeah.
So there's two addresses, and then we just stuck in Google Maps, so there are two addresses that immediately come to mind. One is the registered address, which may be in a different country to the operating address.
That's right.
And then there's other information which we're not demonstrating here, but the usual stuff like link to their website, their telephone number, their email address.
Yeah, and because you were saying, because it's in VCAV format, you can easily export it to your email client.
Yeah,
that sort of thing,
and use one of the plugins to find the nearest Domino Pizza, or export it to your address book and blah. But also, one of the cool things is if you know more information about this company, you've got a place to put that now.
Right.
And then at the bottom of here, finally, we think one of the barriers to entry with Wikipedia is, if you want to add data, you've got to be quite assured that it's the right thing to add. So we've worked with a comments plugin.
Yeah.
So given a company, maybe you could make some kind of commentary on this, like saying, I think they moved, but I'm not entirely sure.
Right.
And that's kind of the value add that you guys are going to add, is that you go away and verify the data and can provide assurances.
And we can build an RSS feed down to our analyst team, who will get on a daily basis all the comments that are made on the Wikipedia platform now.
You could subscribe to an RSS feed, find information about a company.
So you can subscribe to RSS feeds of companies or comments. We haven't integrated that yet, but that will be the plan.
And then,
it's quite straightforward with Tiddlyweb to do that.
Yeah, and then obviously the other thing is we'd like to sort of emphasise the kind of moderating that you guys do.
Yeah.
So if there's an update by you guys, we'd like to really sort of flag that up. Or indeed, if you are if it's your company they're talking about, perhaps you could have a same level of kind of authority that we would.
Sure.
You could sort of like on Technorati, you could say, this is my company, and we would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can we do just a quick demo of all the functionality? So for people who are just watching and they're restless and they just want to see a quick run through of all the UI.
Okay, so currently we have a list of companies. Then we have our new sort of more annotated list, which will be provided as RSS. So you could build RSS feeds around any kind of search or any kind of lookup.
Yeah.
And you can use tagging heavily as well. People can tag things.
So just to explain what we've got at the moment that's just a static list of all the tiddlers in the bag
But it comes for free from Tiddlyweb that you can build RSS feeds very efficiently.
Yeah.
And we would expect to have tags and search terms, and you can build updates for that when there's a new printer in your locale or your whatever. Then we can update stuff just by keyword, but we would make it more wiki-ish, I think.
So it's an edit. So do you want to demo the edit?
No, I don't.
Okay. Not safe. We just did it. We just did demo it. But.
So we could just quickly try and updating something. I know, like
actually just change it back to limited.
Yeah. Okay, so I could
because we use that as a bit of a demo. Anyway.
All right. So SRF limited instead.
Okay, so then this is back to vanilla TiddlyWiki, but
yeah, because we haven't got a redirect in there yet.
So I could go back to the page, I guess, and.
So you can go to bags, right?
Yeah.
Bags and.
I might want to edit this out.
Tiddlers. So you've changed it, and now it's gone back. We can see it there, so you can actually click on that too. So you can click on that and see.
This one here?
Yeah. So that's just showing SRF limited.
Okay, so then we have a search thing which I won't show, but you can. It's like a power search, very lame.
Works.
Is it? So if I look for like old, is it GB?
Oh, I'm not sure if every field's been done. I don't know.
Well, we could try.
It's very brave.
Yeah, so
oh well, there you go.
okay,
all right, so we've got the search on all the fields.
And then finally, there's actual page where you could. It's just like the page you would link to talk about a company.
And you can demo the comments as well, because that's something I did today.
Okay,
where
so,
I'll just explain that too. That I've taken the comments from Scrumptious, which is a completely separate product, Scrumptious.tv. And part of what we do at Osmosoft, and partly what we want to demonstrate here, is reuse and reuse through just straightforward, easy coding patterns that make it easy for people to pull in things. And so we've basically been able to take that today. I've converted this to a completely generic plugin that can be used in other projects, and we've been able to use it in here. and it's also working with
Is it using OpenID or?
OpenID. It should be. We haven't tested on the server because it could be different forces at stake. But anyway, that's okay. So just showing how the comment plugin works.
And that's linked to my blog and blah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's cool stuff.
Okay.
I mean, I've enjoyed today.
Yeah, thanks a lot,
You guys
guys.
have found value from it.
That was awesome. I mean, the platform, it's just night and day going from just a pure broadcast catalog type of platform to something where we can start to really invoke some proper feedback from the market. So, I think it's going to be fantastic.
Well,
Excellent.
So it's the start of a relationship that we can start building stuff together, and I quite like to demonstrate the value of so that we can build some cool mashups.
And one of the great things is my customers themselves this is all open source, so my customers can actually tailor this for their particular requirements or work with you guys or us or whoever. Right? So it's brilliant.
Great.
Thanks,
Cool.
guys.
Cheers.
Bye.